Good morning. Well, for some it is. For me, it's not. I'm going to stop talking about my life growing up. It was horrible enough to have to relive it and try and tell people how I am. But yesterday, I got some worse news about my cancer. I thought I was doing okay, but no, my cancer has spread. I've been having a hard time for the past 3 weeks. I've been very ill and I didn't know why, so I asked for an x-ray and it came back that my cancer has actually spread to my other lung. That's why I'm having a hard time getting around and breathing. I'm trying my hardest. Um, I don't have a lot of time. I will try if I'm accepted. One more round of radiation. No more chemo. Please, if you're going to do radiation and chemo for your cancer, please don't do them both at the same time. Same day, put it that way. It will debilitate you and make you very ill. I just want you to know. But if you want to buy a little more time, do what I did. I should have been gone over a year ago. But I did holistic medications. I was doing turkey tail tick turn and chaga tick turn, which is mushrooms. And it seemed to help quite a bit. It did bring my tumor in my left lung down to almost 2 centimeters, but it's never going to go. I'm incurable. I'm on palliative care, as you can say. I'm posting this to let you know. Also, the second bad news I got. It's very hard to talk about. If I break down, I'm sorry. My heart's breaking. I'm sitting here on a death watch for my best friend. He's been my rock for years. He won't make 21. Cubby is my best friend. I love him and I'm gonna miss him, but I know I'll be with him soon. But I'm actually glad he's going before me instead of after me, because I know it would break his heart more. He's only a dog to some people, but to me, he's my brother, my best friend. My heart can't take much more of this. I thought somebody really cared for me when I found out I had cancer, but they don't. They pulled away. They've been pulling away continuously. I think they were just sticking around till I died to make me feel good, but I beat the record of what they said I should have been done. They told me yesterday, the doctors and nurses told me yesterday that they've never met anybody as stubborn as me. Somebody who could beat this, they said would probably be me, but I don't think I will. I'm probably gonna follow Cubby and go with him. He's laying on my floor covered up and sleeping right now, but he's not good. I spent the last of my money to get him checked. I don't have the money to put him down, and I don't want to. But he's not in pain. The doctor says just let him go to sleep. So that's what I'm doing. But it's hard. Just so everybody out there knows it's very hard to know that you're going. And your friend is coming with you, but I didn't want that. I feel abandoned by a person who told me that they loved me and wanted to be with me. I understand life goes on. I understand they have problems too. I understand all that. But to be left on the wayside in critical moments, and when you tell them they don't even do anything, they don't reply, they don't do anything, that tells me that they don't care. They may say they do, but they don't. I wish people would stop playing with my emotions. I really do, and just love me for me. I'm not a bad person. In 62 years, I've gone through hell. Do you understand? I had 12 stepbrothers and sisters. Most of them treated me like shit. They used me. They would call me if they needed something. I'd be there. But if I needed something, I couldn't call them. No, it didn't work. Do you understand? I always got excuses. My mother forced me out and made me homeless. Do you understand? My mother did this and took my rent money shortly after I gave it to her. I lost everything because I was in a tent one night. I went to go have dinner with my brother and I came home and everything was gone. My whole life. The only thing they left me was my tent. They took everything, all my belongings. Yeah. And then the second time I get here to Calgary, I moved to Calgary because I lost Lillian. Lillian and I 6 years together, almost 7. I found her on the couch. That was heartbreaking. Then I lost the house because I'm pretty sure her sister stole the will. I asked Lillian to get it checked, to do like I did and get it registered. She never did it. So the mortgage company came and took the house away from me. They said they wouldn't let me take it over, but I couldn't prove anything. Thank you, Rose. You know who you are. So I lost that house. Then, just before my birthday, the same year, I lost my job. Do you understand? Then I had to be out of my house shortly after that, because I had nowhere to go. So my friend Mike, my best friend of all these years, 40-something years, says to me, I'm moving to Calgary. Do you want to go? I want you to, if you can, pull my trailer, my camper, because I had a truck at the time, and I said, sure. I drove out here. I stayed with Mike at a campsite for a month till he got his house, and I went to Calgary, and my stepsister said I could stay with her, so I paid her. I'm giving her my first paycheck. I gave her every penny, and whatever else I had before that, I gave her money, and it wasn't enough. I'm at work. I'm working my ass off. I'm not well. I'm coughing. I can't breathe barely. I'm at work coughing and sick and sick and sick, and I go to work one night because I work night shift. And I get a message from that person. You don't respect my house. You do nothing here. I fixed her fucking back door. I told her what I needed. One more thing. And that was just a weather stripping to fix the door. And she said I did nothing for her. I helped her with her garden. I helped her with this. I did that. I gave her money. I bought groceries. But it wasn't enough. She forced me out in a minus 17-degree weather. She can't say she didn't force me out. She didn't want me there. She should have said that before. I would have found somewhere. I ended up buying a camper. I was living in my camper at the Walmart parking lot. Little did I know that the same sister, stepsister mind you, decides to harass me while I'm living in my camper. At Walmart, standing out in front of my camper. I had it on video. I gave it to the police. I showed them. I could have had her arrested for harassment, but I didn't because I'm a good person. And then she comes by. My sister from Ontario comes out to visit, and what do? They come through the parking lot to check it out. Do you understand? That's the mentality of my family. That's how they've treated me my whole life. My parents never once, ever said I love you. I would drive thousands of kilometers to see them. And I remember one Christmas, I drove all the way up there to see them, and I was driving a big van. My dad was worked at a gas station at that time. He took my family members' cars to go get gas. Not mine. Not mine at all. I made the effort to drive all the way from fucking Florida for this visit. And then when I moved back to Canada for my divorce, I used to drive hours to go see my mother. Barb is what I'm going to call her, because she's not a mother. She's never been a mother. She should never have had this many kids. At one point, she gave me up for adoption to my aunt. Another point, she left my one sister in the hospital. The hospital had to name her. That's how mean my mother was and how cruel. I grew up with a man, Howard, knowing him as my father. Found out he wasn't my father at 7 years old. That somebody else was. It was another man. It was my friend from school's father. Turned out he's my stepbrother. We moved in him, and I got beat like all the time. Got pieced of shit, treated like horrible. Never a compliment of what I did. Always abuse. But anyway, I'm losing my dog now. I'm making him as comfortable as possible. I'm listening to him breathe right now, and he's breathing fine. He's sleeping. I wish I was going with him right now. I do. But I made a promise to fight. And that promise I made to him, not to anybody else. I will try. I will try with all my might to beat this. They say it's incurable, which I have researched, and not many people survive this. I don't think I've read one person who survived the cancer I have. There's no surgery that can help me. I did the chemo and radiation, and like I said, please don't do the chemo and radiation together. No, I was so sick. I was in the hospital at one point for 2 weeks, and I thought I was dying then, and I wish I would have. But during that time, whether you believe me or not, my grandmother, who loved me, came to me in the room, comforted me, told me it will be all right. Whether you believe me or not, I don't care. And after that, I was in the home. I was in my bedroom, not feeling well again. Really sick. And I heard somebody, and it was my brother Barry. He told me, don't worry. You believe me or not, I don't care. I know in my heart what I heard. I know what I saw. This is the most I've told people shit, because it hurts. I'm very lonely. I have friends here. I have people who love me, but it's not family. Some are cousins. Yes, I love them very much. I have a sister who loves me. I know that. I don't get to talk to her, but I still send birthdays and say I love you. I have one niece and one nephew who talk to me. Okay. I had a brother. I thought I had a brother. When I told him I had cancer, he sent me some money to help me because I wasn't surviving. I was working, but I wasn't surviving. And he told me he was coming out. He was supposed to go to California with his biker friends. And so I canceled the trip that I got through a Wish Foundation. I put it on hold. I should say not cancel. I put it on hold for him. It was still in season. He never showed. Never called. I sat here for 3 days. Do you understand that? 3 days and not a phone call. When I do, he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I decided to go to California. I had a great time and sent me pictures." I don't fucking care. I'm glad you had your trip. I really am. But that's what I go through in my life. Everybody tells me shit and they don't do it. Do you understand? My life has been hard. And enough of that, but for everybody out there, I made good. When this is only the second time I've actually cried since I found out my diagnosis. And you know, it was hard. It was hard. And the thing was, I was working for a company here in Calgary, working nights. I won't mention the name, but when I told them I had cancer and I wanted some time off, just to think, 2 days. When I come back, they said that they can't have me doing that. So what they do, they took me off my shift, which was a supervisor, and put me on the line, which is hard manual labor. I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. I had to wear a mask. The cancer was making me cough for hours straight. It didn't matter to these people. So they put me on that shift. Then they came back about 3 or 4 days later, seeing I was struggling, and said, "Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give you 2 weekends a month to cover for another gentleman who wants to be home with his wife." 2 weekends. Who the fucking live on 2 weekends a fucking month? Nobody. That was their way of getting rid of me. So I told them I couldn't do it, that I couldn't survive on that. So what'd they do? They fucked me for my unemployment. You talk about compassion. Like, there is no compassion in this world for anybody. But yet a gentleman goes to them that works there. "Oh, I'm having mental health issues. Okay, here, take 2 weeks off with pay. Go get yourself some help, and when you're all done, come back." They just wanted to get rid of me because I had cancer. That's all it was. But this is the life I've had. And when I found out about my terminal illness, the person who said they loved me and that was be with me has pulled away. I guess I'm not giving her enough. I don't know. I've been hurt since Christmas from her. I spent Never mind. It doesn't matter. She knows what she did. My birthday and Christmas. Big things. I mean, I don't want to expect a lot from people. I really don't. But for what I got, that's embarrassing. And for what I spent compared to what I got. It's not the fact of getting things for Christmas. It's not. It's not the fact of getting things for your birthday. It's the delivery. It's the compassion, the love. Showing somebody how much you care for them. I mean, getting a $5 scratch card for Christmas? Come on, really? And then for your birthday, you get a fucking keychain because you went away on vacation? That's not right. There is no nothing there. I'm sorry. So today I sent a message to that person because they were the one that was going to take care of everything when I pass. Please send the paperwork back. Bring it back. Everything. Everything. Twice she used my bank account without telling me. She's supposed to be taking care of all my everything. You know, making sure that my will is carried through, but I don't trust people anymore. I had a stupid ass stepbrother, the youngest, who stole the whole fucking estate when mom died. Took everything, but lied about it. Cashed the check, he fucking took everything out of her apartment, took everything she had in pawn. Didn't matter, didn't share. She had a will. He knows he should have done right, but no. He lied to get control of the insurance check and all the belongings because the guy that was supposed to do it, Mark's a fucking meth head. Mark signs everything over to him. Doesn't read it. Doesn't do fuck all. For all I know, he could have got his inheritance, but we got screwed. Barb did that because she felt guilty. She left us money because she felt guilty. I don't care what anybody says. For the abuse that we took as children. There were days we didn't eat. You understand? We grew up raising ourselves, pretty much. At least I did. I was hardly ever home because I didn't want to be home. The abuse was at home. The yelling was at home. But I had friends. I had a mom I call. Cheryl is my mom. Cheryl and Jim. Pat and Eddie. Those are my parents. Those are the people that love me and help me. I still love them to this day. I'm still in contact. But Eddie had passed. I didn't know. I loved him so much. And that was my fault. I should have stayed in touch. I did kind of. When I was still married, I helped him. But Cheryl and Jim still call me, still talk to me. Most of my true friends still talk to me. Okay, I have love from them, but it's not the love I wanted. The love I needed was from another person to be with me, hold me when I cry, tell me they love me, be with me. I shouldn't have to prompt that out of somebody. That's not life. Okay? I understand. Okay, I understand now. You can't rely on anybody. You have to do everything your own self. In the last couple of months, I've come to the realization that we're all alone. Yes, we have friends who love us. I had a friend here because I needed support when the doctor came. I knew I couldn't get it from the other person that supposedly loved me. And before I found out yesterday, Monday, I had a beautiful young lady call me on Friday at 7 a.m. and say, "Don, would you like to go to the zoo with me on Monday?" This woman doesn't know me from Adam, but she has compassion. I met her because she's doing a cancer study, and she asked me to do a speech at one of her functions. And I did it, and it's hard for me. It was all about cancer and you know, the trials and tribulations of cancer, and I think I did well. And thank you, Randy, for taking me to the zoo. At least you cared. You made this week one of my happiest. You showed me that somebody cares other than the people I'm close to. And Lori, God bless Lori. I wish that things would have turned out different with her and I. I probably would have had all the grandkids and children that I crave, but I'll never have. I'm not perfect. I've never said I was perfect. I've never said I was perfect to anybody. I'm not. But I feel that the real person you should love is yourself, and I do love myself. I really do. Don't put your faith into other people. Please don't. You have to know that person. I thought I knew this person. I thought I knew my family. When Barb and Ted got married, I was the only child, their only child in that marriage. Do you think they cared about me? No. They cared about who helped them out. They cared about other things. They cared about... My mother actually traded me for my stepbrother. Gave him love and attention. But yet, no. That's okay. When she passed, I didn't go to the funeral. I couldn't go and listen to the lies of people. Especially if I'm saying how great she was and all this, how she raised a great family. But she didn't. I'm sorry, she did not. And neither did my father. Both fathers. I can understand why Howard left. I do. She was a baby machine. The last time I actually spoke to my mother, literally spoke to her, was when I took the car back from my brother after I gave him a car that with all the paperwork to put in his name, and he didn't, and he got pulled over. He was using the car to rob farms. It wasn't even on the road yet. It wasn't legal. My sister-in-law got pulled over in that car with the drug dealer. And somehow, I don't know how, they got the car back. They didn't get it impounded or something. I don't know what they did to do it. But she called and told me what was going on after my mother told me what was going on, that Mark was doing this with the car. Do you understand? So when I went to pick up the car, I told Mark, because he was ready to go after his wife. She had nothing to do with this. She was honest with me when I asked her after what my mother told me. And I told him to his face, it wasn't her. It was your mother who told me that you're doing this. So I took the car. On my way home, with a new girlfriend, somebody that I cared for, I get a call, so I put it on speaker. The first thing out of her mouth was, "You're a fucking lying piece of shit." This is my mother. I never said that, she says. I don't forget things. I'm sorry. My family will tell you. I have a great memory. I know who tells me what. So then I said, you told me. She goes off. She's yelling. She goes, "You're nothing but a piece of shit. I wish I would have just fucking got rid of you before you were born." Do you understand what she's saying, right? She actually gave me away because she couldn't handle all us kids. She gave me to my aunt. She left my sister in the hospital. The nurses had to name my stepsister. Okay? I understand it was a hard life back in the 50s and 60s. I understand that. But bringing in 9 children to this world and then treating certain ones with love and affection, and one main one treat like shit and beat all the time. And a lot of times the beating were over lies. But that's all right. That was my life. Whether you watch this all the way to the end or not, it doesn't matter to me anymore. I just want to get out there that life is hard. Life is very hard. And the way the world's going now, I'm actually glad I'm leaving, because there's too many snowflakes in this world now. If a war ever broke out, we're screwed. We've already been invaded. We know we have. We have people here who are terrorists, and they're going to work their way in. And I hope all you snowflakes out there understand you're going to be rounded up and just like in the old days, put in somewhere and you're going to be treated like shit. Wake up, Canada. Wake up, United States. The war is coming. I may not be here to see it, but the war is coming. You need to wake up. Don't forget, the government works for us. We don't work for them. If you guys got yourself together and got a pair of balls on you, you'd be stepping up to the fucking plate and forcing out the people who are causing the problems. A lot of people don't like Donald Trump. But you know what? That man's going to change the United States. Even he calls our fucking Prime Minister True Dummy a pussy. He calls him a fucking waste of space, a waste of skin. He's right. Everybody's got to wake up. That man was broke when he got into office. How many millions of dollars has he got in his account now? Think about it, folks. Giving away $60 million to two men who work out of a fucking basement, who do nothing. Investigate, people. Wake the fuck up. Enough of the politics. I'm just venting. I'm done. When I moved here, I had a truck. I moved into a building. They told me they didn't have parking. Parking in Calgary is fucking ridiculous for a lot. Unsecured parking lot is outrageously priced. No cameras, no nothing. Bad neighborhood. I have a handicap sticker, so our building has handicap parking. So I was parking there. I felt safer with my truck there. Instead of having to walk 2 blocks to get to my truck or whatever it was. Doesn't matter. But then they told me I had to get rid of it. I had 24 hours to get rid of my car. The building. It wasn't the building. It was the liaison of the building. I said, but I'm using a handicap. Doesn't matter. We don't have parking for our tenants. I sold my truck. That truck was worth a couple $1,000s. It was all new underneath, but I only got $750 for that truck because I had to have it gone that fucking day. And the person that supposedly loved me said, don't worry about it. When I moved here, she says, it's okay. I will be coming by. She did for a while. And it started becoming sporadic. Then she'd tell me she's coming and not show. I can't count on how many fingers and toes I have being told that she's coming the next day or on a certain day and not showing. I showed this person love. Do you understand that? Gave her money to pay off her credit cards twice. Bought her beautiful gifts that were expensive to only get a $5 fucking gift card and a $3 keychain for my birthday and Christmas. That hurt. Do you understand? That hurt. And I'm not the type of person to bring it up. I'm not the type of person that wants to argue and stuff like that. But I'm in the last of my life now. And I really don't care if I hurt somebody because I've been hurt so bad my whole life. I have friends. I have true friends that love me, that encourage me, that send me messages of love on my site. Comment. Pray with me. Do you understand this? I know I'm going to heaven. And I'm going to see some beautiful things. I'm going to see people who love me. I'm pretty sure my grandmother and Barry will be at the pearly gates waiting for me. I'm just positive. I'm actually looking forward to going. It's not going to be fun. I just don't want people to cry for me. I just want people to understand. Remember the good times. And like I do, I remember all the good times. I try not to remember the bad times. But I have too many of them. The beatings. The being called stupid because I got bad grades. Not a question why are you getting bad grades. It started in public school when I found out who my father was. And it was a rude way I found out. Drinkers. Wake me up at fucking 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, drag me out of bed. This is a 7-year-old child. Drag me out the freaking porch and say, this is your father. Of course, not that nicely. Do you want to go live with him? And the man standing there happens to be my stepbrother's dad. somebody I was going to school with and hung out with. And then we moved in with him. And it was the worst it could have ever been. I can only remember one good Christmas. I don't remember much. I block a lot of it out. But it comes back. You can't block everything out. And you can't accept it to happen that way. I'm not saying I've had a totally bad life. I've had a lot of good times. I traveled a lot. Hitchhiked mostly. How many people can say they've hitchhiked across Canada 3 times? How many people can say they hitchhiked to Florida twice and back? California and back? Not many. I was a lost soul trying to find myself. It took cancer for me to find myself. It took betrayal for me to find myself. Hate to find myself. All I ask some people is, don't tell other people my business, but they do anyway. Okay? They always talk bad about me. I'm not a bad person. I wasn't the best, but I'm not a bad person. I give and give and give and give. I give everything. I'll give somebody the last freaking $100 in my pocket if I had to. I've given and given and given. Even since I've been here, I've given to the homeless. I tried to do a GoFundMe so I could do a trip home. You know, I am surprised. It was people I didn't know giving me the money. One person in my friends gave me money for that trip. I didn't get enough. It was too much. I can't fly because of my illness. It's hard to drive because of my illness, because I have a bad problem with throwing up in cars. But I was willing to drive back to Ontario to see people. One was the aunt who loves me and took care of me when I was young. My Aunt Joan, who's now in her 80s. I just wanted to say goodbye to her. A few other friends. I wasn't planning on going to see anybody in the family because, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have a family. I have a sister, a niece, and a nephew. That's my family. My best friends are my family. That's all I need. I don't need their acceptance anymore. The ones I helped the most turned on me. I tried contacting that person, only to be told by the girl that isn't even his fucking daughter that I've never done anything to help my brother Mark. I used to drive 2.5, 3 hours to fix his van. You know, he was ready to get evicted because he couldn't cut the grass. I got 7 lawnmowers running for him and stood there in the sun cutting a piece of property, probably 3 acres of grass, in the heat, in the sun, and cut that grass that was knee-high. Did I get a thank you? Not that I need one, but did I? No. What I get is a little bitch telling me I've done nothing for him. When he was out of fuel oil, who do you think he called for the money? Only because I'm good at winning at the slots. He heard that I won. Okay, I won to be on The Price is Right. Plus I won a nice chunk of change on a couple slot machines the same day. Made the mistake of telling my mother. That night I get a phone call from my brother's wife. Can you loan us some money? I've done that before and never got it back. I said, for what? We need fuel oil. Can you send us $500? No. I will send you $250. Months later, his wife leaves him. And you know what? She called me and said, What's your bank account? I want to send you the money back. And she did. And she's missing now. Nobody has heard from her. She's been missing. I saw her. I was probably one of the last people to see her when she came to visit me. She made the trip to see me 3 hours and visit. She did it twice. She brought my nephew Brandon to come see me. I have pictures of our time together. That was the last time I saw her, and then she disappeared. Nobody's seen her, and I have never heard a word whether she's been found or not. It's like nobody cares. But anyway, enough of this shit. I just want everybody to know. Be happy. Love the ones you have. And if you have somebody that doesn't treat you right, get rid of them. Because you deserve better. I felt like a cash machine when I had money. To everybody. And I shouldn't have. But back to the GoFundMe. Anyway, I matched it dollar for dollar, and my bank was trying to help me. They gave me a special account to give me a high interest to get that account up. I still didn't make enough. So I decided I'm not going to make my trip. I took my whole GoFundMe of $3,600 after matching it, and I gave it to the Children's Cancer Society. Because I believe that a child has a better chance at living a full life if they get the treatment. My time is gone. I'm too old to worry about it. But it's the only thing I could think of doing with that money. And it was shortly after that the one who's supposed to be with me didn't come around as much. There's no money. That's how I feel. And if they think that's too much, that's too much. Okay. I just wanted to be loved. And I couldn't find it. Not the love I need. I know everybody loves me that's watching this video. I feel that love. I know God loves me. I love myself. We have an inherent need to have somebody with us to share our moments of happiness and sad. But what do I do? What do I do? It's obvious. I'm going to go without that bond that I look for and I crave. I don't know what else to say. Other than my heart's broken. And I'm going to be going to my grave with a broken heart. I only hope and pray that the people that I love the most have a wonderful life and get to know things. The woman that I call mom, she lost her daughter, and my heart broke, and it still breaks. But I'm her son, and I will be her son. Cheryl, I love you. Jim, I love you. Pat, I love you. And Eddie in heaven, I love you. I will see you soon, Eddie. Eddie was the man that taught me respect. He taught me love. They both did. Eddie taught me mechanics. Taught me responsibility. He showed me there's people that love me. Cheryl and Jim took me in. Every time my mother or father would beat me, they would leave the cottage open for me. They would tell me how I could get in, so I could stay there and hide, basically. And when I slept there and they were there during the summer, I would wake up to a breakfast and a coffee beside me. I would sleep on the porch so I wouldn't disturb them. That shows you. Pat and Eddie, if I did chores for them, they would hold my money because they knew what would happen. My parents would take it. And with that money, I would take brothers, sisters, and cousins to the beach and buy them french fries at Eli's. Or go to Berg's Candy when it was open and buy candy for all of us because we didn't get those treats. The people don't remember that. And the last hurtful thing that the person said to me here in Alberta, which was quite ignorant because stepbrothers had, and I'm going to say it straight out, sexually assaulted my sisters. You know who you are. I will not say your name, but you know who you are. You hurt my sisters. But yet the youngest sister that I was staying with out here had the nerve to say, for me to, I'm just like my brothers, and to go be with them. That hurt. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you have a problem, go get it fixed. All I heard was the me movement, the me movement. That's what they said they were going to do. But of course, they're cowards. They didn't do it. That's okay. Stop crying about it, unless you want to do something about it. But don't put it on somebody else just because you're angry. I give up. People can say what they want about me. I don't really care. I know in my heart I'm a good person. God knows I'm a good person. And many, 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 many people know I'm a good person. And that's all that matters to me anymore. I just miss having somebody to come sit with. Hang out with, watch TV, do things. But that's gone. That's gone now. I don't have the energy to even walk to get a coffee anymore. It's so hard. I had my medications increased for the pain yesterday. Okay. That's the other thing a lot of people want, is my painkillers. I had no idea that it was that big of a fucking deal, the pill situation. And you know who you are too. Don't ever ask me for a pill. I'm done. But I'm sorry if this rant went everywhere. But I just want you to understand how I feel, what I've been through. You understand that? I dropped out of school in grade 10, but I did something. I went to McMaster University and took a test. I got my grade 13. It took me 8 hours to take that test. To get that. And I'm proud of myself for doing it. Right now I'm just listening to my dog. I think he's going. He's whining and my heart's breaking. I don't know what to do. The doctor just said let him go to sleep, and that's what I'm doing. He's sleeping right now, but I don't know if he's dreaming or what, but I think he's upset because I'm upset. All I want people to do is love each other. Respect each other. Have compassion. Show people how you really care. Don't put on fake faces. Don't act fake. If you're done with somebody, tell them. Don't leave them hanging. Don't tell them you love them when you don't. That's the worst thing you can do to somebody's heart. I'm just happy it's ending. My pain and my hurt. My heart will not hurt anymore. I will be at peace. I'm just tired of fakers. People who say, I love you. You know, they don't. I don't know what to do. All I have to say is, after Cubby's gone to heaven, if they tell me they can't do the radiation because I'm not a good candidate for it, I'm just going to make sure that everybody understands how I feel. Because if it turns out I can't do anything else, then I'm just going to go with Cubby. I have a thing set up. It's called MAID, Medical Assistance in Dying. They will come and put me out of my misery. The sad thing is I won't have anybody with me that loves me other than probably one person who, through this whole thing, since 1970s, has always said they love me. I know it'll be hard for some people, but I know I'm going to be forgotten. I don't forget everybody who's passed away. All my friends who've passed away over the years in my family. I just lost a friend of mine not too long ago, Scott, out of the blue. I was with him the day before, next day he's gone. Carl came home, went to bed, never woke up. Gordy just died from AIDS and illnesses. AIDS-related death, I guess you'd call it. It goes on and on and on, the people I've lost. My cousin Gary, that was one of the sad times in my life. But he was shown the love. I won't have anybody for my funeral. There won't be a funeral. I'm sorry if I'm ranting on. I just have a lot of hurt. And I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry if I hurt anybody. Didn't mean to. If I hurt somebody's feelings, I apologize. It all comes from the way you're raised. I tried to be a different person. But it always comes back to the way you're raised. People today, raise your children better. Make them have morals. Make them understand it hurts people. Show them love, most of all. Love and affection and understanding. Don't beat them like I got. I got some pretty bad beatings growing up. Hung up on the wall by my throat with a punch in the face from the man I thought was my father. But he doesn't treat me like a son. He treated all the other children that weren't his like perfect. He loved them all, not me. He denied me. He would introduce me to people, and he'd be standing there with 3 of my stepbrothers who were also his sons, and he would introduce me as his stepson. Never his son. It was crazy. I can remember him giving out, when we got it, if we got it, we would get an allowance if there was some money in the house. And we'd all go to the store and I would have like 50 cents, maybe a quarter. The other ones would be showing up with $1 bill, 4 quarters, you know. That's how it was. If I wasn't there, I probably wouldn't have got it. When I got married, nobody came. My wife's shower sent invitations. Not one fucking family member, even those who were just across the border, never showed up. My in-laws went out of their way to make sure they found a place right at the border so that the family didn't have to travel. It's too far into the United States. Never showed. Not even my mother. And then she got mad when she found out we got married because we eloped. Got married in Ridgeway at the Battle of Ridgeway School. The only people there, stepbrother Brian, cousin Samantha. I called and asked people to come. All too busy. That just shows you the favoritism in this family. I was okay if I was doing something for them, but I wasn't okay if I wasn't. All I heard was backstabbing. Not once did a person say to you, or say to me once, "How are you?" Are you okay? Do you need some help? No. I took family members into my homes when they had nowhere to go. I'm homeless. Does anybody say, hey, I have a spare room? Hey, I'll help you out? Do you need anything? No. So, I'm sorry this has taken so long. It's almost an hour and I didn't mean to go on this long. But I'm just listening to my dog. I have to go. I have to comfort him. He's not doing well. I think he's heading out. So I'm going to hold him while he goes. I don't care how long it takes. He's not being put down. I want him to understand that somebody loves him. Somebody cares for him. I don't want him leaving this world alone. Because that's how I feel I'm going to leave. You understand that? The man I'm named after, Donald Wilford McKinney, middle name different. That man would come around and take us kids. Even though I wasn't his blood nephew, loved me no matter what. I was probably one of the last people to see him. It wasn't the best place to meet him, but I met him. And he passed away shortly after that, alone, in his recliner. The only way they found him, of course, you know why. He laid there. Nobody cared. He's in a pauper's grave, and I wish I had the money to put a headstone on his grave, but I don't. That man deserved more. But what do you do? So all I gotta say is, if anybody sees the youngest stepbrother, Travis McKinney, run. Just run. He is a con artist. He's a narcissist. He's a fucking thief. And I don't care if he sees this. His daughter defends him to his fucking dying day. She'll defend him, saying he's not that. But everybody in the family knows what he is. Women know what he is because he's on a no dating site. He took everything that my mother left for us, took it all. Lied about it. His middle name should be liar. His middle name should be thief. But that's enough of him. I can't waste my breath on a piece of shit like that. But I wasn't that bad growing up. I just wanted attention. I just wanted love. I went about it the wrong way, I guess. Caused me a lot of grief, the way I was trying to do it, and I don't wish that on anybody. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. I may or may not get back on here again. I don't know. I just want everybody to know how I am, how it feels, and what loneliness is really like, and betrayal, and hurt. So please, just try to love one another. Show compassion. Have morals. Treat people how you want to be treated. Like I do. I treat people with the utmost respect. I love most people. You just don't get it back. You don't give that person that again. Somebody says they love you and they really don't. Tell them to move on. You're more important. I have my love. I have God. And I've accepted that. I'm in a lot of pain right now, so not just mental pain, physical. My chest is on fire right now. I take so many medications for pain. I don't like it. But what do you do? As they say, you grin and bear it, and you move on. But as us men are told in childhood, don't cry. You get smacked if you cried. Or told, you want something to cry about? I'll give you something to cry about. That was the favorite saying. Grow up. Another saying. Children should be seen and not heard. Another saying. Without the love of my grandmother and my aunt, who knows where I'd be? I battled depression for years. I'm bipolar on top of that. I've tried suicide. I've tried a couple times. It's been tough. It's been really tough in life. But what do you do? Anyway, God bless you all. I love you. Please be kind to other people. If you see somebody hurting, show them compassion. Show them you care. If you're dating somebody and you're not happy, move on. If you're the person treating somebody bad, grow the fuck up and get out. Don't hurt somebody else. Anyway, I love you and have a great day.